Hello, everyone. Hope you are well. Well, I wanted to talk about my take on the 5G rollout. Okay. And before I get started, I just want to say there are probably some of you that will watch this video and say that I have the tinfoil hat on way too tight. But on the other hand, there are probably some of you that will say, well, dog, you don't have that tinfoil hat on enough. I mean, there's way more to this, man. So I get seem to get comments from all sides, all opinions, which is fine. Which is fine. Let them roll. So 5G now. I haven't done a ton of research, but I've done some research on this. Watched some other videos, and I do have some concerns. From what I gather, this is supposed to start rolling out on like a week from today, January 5th, I believe. So that's coming up. I do not believe that on January 5th, when you wake up, you're going to automatically become some kind of automaton, robot, mind controlled zombie. I do not believe that. No. Uh, I do have some concerns, though. I'll get into it. From what I gather in reading some things, that it's not going to all be, it's not going to be everywhere January 5th. Now, it may be further than I believe, but from what I can tell, this is something that's being rolled out and started, but it will take a while for it to get widespread. Now, that may be different depending on where you live. Uh, Basically, it sounds like this is the kind of thing that will take time and be more concentrated in the urban areas. Now that may be the case for now, but and then get into the lesser dense populated areas. So I looked at a couple of articles. I'm going to link a couple of articles in there in the description of this video for you. It's a lot of information, a lot of good information, pretty detailed. But right off, my concern is that the things that stood out were the airlines, that this has the potential to disrupt the instruments, the electronics, electronics on commercial airlines, and I guess other aircraft as well. But that's a concern. So several airlines are concerned about that, and I understand. So that seems to be a big deal. So we'll see how that plays out. I mean, so that concerns me. Also, it concerns me not so much January 5th, but down the road of what this is leading to. This technology, uh, if falling in the wrong hands, or would be in the wrong hand if it goes into the wrong hands, rather, uh, could be used as a weapon, could be used for nefarious purposes. Um, I believe that the powers that be are going after an internet to control a lot. We can see over the last 2 years. I mean, they want more control, more and more. So uh, this could be another tool for that. It also has some military uses as well. I'll go into that here in a minute. But I believe it could be used in a negative way, very much so, on purpose. So, like I said, and you know, that won't happen January 5th. But was it going to lead to, is that, and how is AI, artificial intelligence, going to play into this? There's a lot of questions, and share what you think, or if you've done a lot of research on that, share what you believe about that. But I am concerned about that. So, going over this article, I won't read everything. It's a lot of information, but some things stuck out to me. It says that 5G does have there are some concerns, some dangers to it. Um, Basically, it's going to make things a lot quicker. So your electronics, your cell reception, your computer, look up something. It can, if you're right near the 5G towers, it'll be quick, very fast, like nanoseconds. So everything is much quicker as far as your technology. Um, it uses millimeter waves of much higher frequencies. So within the radio frequency portion of the electromagnetic spectrum, the higher the frequency, the more dangerous it is. Okay. Uh, Also, because of the limits of the frequencies used, in order for users to have good reception, it is estimated that they will need to put many MINI cell stations every 2 to 8 houses. This will multiply significantly the amount of RF radiation we will be exposed to. So that's a big concern throughout this article, is the exposure to RF radiation. And it's going to take a lot more of these towers, large ones too. Now you see large ones and they're not going away, but this would require, for this 5G to be effective, it requires a lot of these mini cell towers, and these mini cell towers will look kind of like street lights or street lamps. You may not even notice what they are. You may just figure you can go right by it and not even know it. So pay attention where you live, where you work, where you go, to what's around you. Now, if you live out in rural areas, you don't see much of this stuff other than just telephone poles. You have nothing to worry about, at least for now. But that's why I say in your densely populated areas, we could see a lot more of this. They may be already be set up, So go through this. So a lot of those mini cell towers, it goes into some technical talk here. I won't go into that. But it says there are hundreds of scientists and medical doctors from around the world that are calling for a halt to the rollout of this. Now, this article is maybe about a year old or so, but still talking about the dangers of it. And I don't think that's changed. So basically 5G will make everything you do online a lot faster. So we're talking nanoseconds, like I said, to cruise the internet, watch movies on Netflix, whatever, So it says every 2 to 8 homes, you'll require one of these stations. We're talking thousands, not millions of additional base stations across the country just to make 5G available to everyone. So it'll take a lot of those. Implementing 5G infrastructure will be an incredible feat. So other things, if you ask the average guy on the street, why do they always seem to be putting in more and more cell towers? Most people would say they are just trying to improve cell phone technology. While this is technically true, what most people do not realize is that as we advance from cellular generation to generation, the radio frequencies being used have increased. Higher the radio frequency, the shorter the wavelength, and the shorter the distance they can travel. So 5G mini cell towers, I mentioned that. It said that you would need so many of these. It said, imagine a self-driving car. If it loses signal for just a second or two, what would happen? So hence for the need for so many of these cell stations. So again, the RF radiation is a big concern. When will it be rolled out? We know January 5th, they're talking about starting this up. Technically, from a technical perspective, you'll be able to do everything you do now on your phone, your computers, except a lot faster, depending on how close you are to these towers or these cell stations. So, it talks about the implementation of it, the time, that it'll take. Military-wise, says, this is interesting, says China developed a space technology using quantum, I had never heard of this, quantum entanglement. Quantum entanglement, this technology uses satellites and enables military communication that surpasses anything we have ever had or used in human history. Basically, what quantum entanglement is a way for military to communicate amongst themselves in a way that is extremely difficult for an enemy to crack. So China is developing is attempting to set up a space-based military communication system that will not be able to be cracked by its enemies. Now, we may be working on the same kind of stuff in the United States and not even know it. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Also, it makes me think of the Space Force that was created, what, a year or so ago? Maybe that's part of that. Who knows? There's so much. That's a concern. Is there's so much we don't know. What are we not being told? Now, I'm not going to read all this. Now, there are concerns by scientists about the effects of this on the body, the RF radiation I've talked about, on humans, animals, plant life. It does talk about ways to protect yourself from it. I'll just hit that briefly, but it talked about basically as far as way to protect your home is to says that let's go over a way to protect your family, your home from RF radiation, specifically 5G. Let's start with the walls of your house. When the 5G mini cell towers are all around your home, you will want to paint the inside or outside of your home with a coat or two of paint that blocks RF radiation. You can also get drapes and blinds that have conductive metallic fibers woven into the fabrics that will stop RF radiation from coming through your windows. People have used these types of blinds and drapes along with the above mentioned paints, for example, when they have a regular cell tower placed right next to the home, and you see those. Talked also about RF router guards can be used as well to help block out 90 to 95% of RF radiation. So, like I said, I'm going to link this article. But definitely there are concerns. There are concerns about the effects of it on humans, animals, plant life, skin, the eyes. Depending on how close you are, it said this could cause damage even if, even in short, even exposed in short bursts, So I think it requires more deep research. And like I said, I'm concerned about the longer term use of it as well. Share your thoughts about this. This is just briefly what I have been researching. And like I said, I don't think it's going to be anything dangerous, maybe a day one, but share your thoughts again. I appreciate you watching. God bless you. Stay safe. Be aware. Talk to you soon.